Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back with another video, and this is going to be another episode of Your Questions Answered. If you're not familiar with it, Your Questions Answered is a Q&A series that I do here on this channel. If you want to see one of your questions answered in one of these videos, just go ahead and post in the comment section below. Make sure it is Lego Star Wars or Lego Star Wars related, and then check back next week to see if you made the cut. Also, once more, if you guys want to send in your own custom intros to be in front of one of these videos, go ahead. I would be more than happy to put it in front of there. You can go ahead and do something funny, something creative, meme it up. I don't care. Just give me something to put in front of these videos, get a little advertisement for yourself, and just something creative to spice up these videos a little bit. So I'm always accepting those. But let's go ahead and jump into the first question. First question of this week comes from Sam Lothar. He says, here's my question. What do you think is the best Lego Star Wars Big Fig / animal? Lovely question. I think that the first one that comes to my mind has to be the most recent Dewback mold. I just love the way that thing looks. It's very accurate to what we see on screen. And it's nice that they really just kind of honed in on getting all the right details in those big molds. Some honorable mentions are, of course, going to be the Rancor as well as the Tauntaun that we used to get in a lot of the Haas sets. Those things just look so good. They can really spice up a build. There's just one that we seriously need to get, and that is, of course, the Bantha. I don't know why we haven't gotten a Bantha yet. It will be really nice to... I don't want them to do a brick built one. I would love to just see a big mold. I mean, we see these things everywhere in like the Lego Star Wars video games. They clearly have some sort of precedent for what that could possibly look like. And for what we see in those games, they look pretty freaking good. So Lego, come on, make with the Bantha mold, please. Next question comes from Jake Turka. He says, you get to pick 3 sets Lego has to make for Star Wars next year. Size, minifigs, price. I figured let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun with this, so I compiled a list of 3 sets, including the prices and the minifigures that I would like to see next year. The first one is, of course, the Fireball from Star Wars Resistance. It's really weird that we didn't get that set in the 2 first sets that we got from Resistance, but I'm not going to get too down by that. I'm pretty sure Lego will come out with it at some point, and what better time than next year? The price of it would be $70. That seems to be in line with the most recent X-Wing. I don't think it would be as big and as detailed as an X-Wing, but it would be comparable to that size, so like why not drop it $10? It's not an iconic like an X-Wing, but the minifigs I would love to see in it is Kaz, Tam, Yeager, Niku, and CB23. I think since we're already getting Kaz in a set for the Resistance sets this year, maybe they can give us a pilot version of him where he's wearing his helmet. That'd be a good way to give us a somewhat unique Kaz figure in that set, and I really think this will be a wonderful set. The Fireball is a cool looking ship. Really all the Ace ships in Resistance are cool looking. I would love a set of any of them, but Fireball is the most iconic one and important one from the series, so it would make the most sense to do that, and it's a great way to give us all the main characters from the show, the main Fireball crew, so that would be the first one that would be on my list. The second one we're going to go with, I'm going to call this set the 501st Encounter set. I'm obviously a big proponent of Lego giving us a 501st Battle Pack, but if they don't want to give us a straight up battle pack, I like this idea as well. So imagine a set called 501st Encounter. It'd be around $25. It would come with 4 minifigures. It'd come with Bail Organa, Zet Jukasa, and 2 501st Troopers. It would come with a little walkway that Bail's walking down. The 501st Trooper comes up to him and says, "Sir, it's time for you to leave." And it would also include Bail Organa's speeder that he actually takes to get to that walkway. So, you know, it wouldn't be a huge set. It'd just be a decent-sized $25 set. Could give us a pretty decent speeder build. I really love all those Coruscant-type speeder builds that we get. Like, even Cad Bane's was really nice, so I think this would be a pretty cool addition to anyone's collection. And getting 2 501st Troopers in the set would obviously be the main appeal. For me, I would love to get a Jet Tsukasa figure, as well as a prequel Bail Organa figure. This set all around I think would just be wonderful, especially at that price point. So it's kind of a pipe dream. I don't really anticipate them doing anything like that anytime soon, but hey, a boyo can dream. My last set is going to be a big boy. It's going to be $300, and it is a Republic dropship and AT-TE. So originally the Republic dropship set came with an AT-OT. I think if they want to do another wave of like episode 2 vehicles, and they don't want to just give us the typical Republic gunship and AT-TE like we always get, why not kind of combine them and make one big set? So I figure, why not do a Republic dropship as well as an AT-TE? I would price it, and like I said, $300. That kind of reserves, I guess, like $100 for the AT-TE, maybe even $120 if they want to really go in on the details on it. And then, of course, you know, like $150 to $200 for the Republic dropship in itself, just to make that thing massive and very detailed. And the rest of that can be allotted to the minifigures or however much that may cost in the set. As for the minifigures in the set, I'd really like to see an updated, accurate Phase 1 clone pilot, like the one we see in the Republic gunship in Episode 2. Basically, it looks the same as the one we've gotten, but he actually doesn't have the fin that goes all the way back on his head, so I would like to see LEGO correct that. I want to see 4 standard clones in this set, and they can also include some of the higher ranking ones. For example, I think they can do like a captain and a commander, because those are probably the 2 more expensive ones, so it'd be cool to throw those in the set as well. As for the Jedi, I was thinking they can throw in Shaak Ti, like an updated movie version of Shaak Ti. That would definitely be a big draw to the set, seeing as she's one of the cooler looking Jedi that we haven't gotten an updated, nice looking version of. I think that they probably have to do Mace Windu, because he's such a staple of the scene whenever the gunships are landing and running along with the troops. And then finally, they can throw in Smiling Kit Fisto, because why not? So yeah, Jake, I hope that answers your question. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think about these sets that I've come up with? If you had to pick 3 sets that you would like to see next year, put those in the comment section as well. I would love to read through those. Moving on to our next question, it comes from a user named Sam, and he says, what aliens do you want to see most in LEGO form? The Grand, Togrutan, and Ithorian are aliens I think we desperately need. Now, I like the question. The problem, however, is we've actually gotten LEGO versions of all of those aliens. The Grand we've gotten with Reeds, the Togruta is Shaak Ti, obviously, and Ahsoka, of course. And then for the Ithorian Jedi, I think we got with like the Yoda Chronicles or something like that. So for aliens that LEGO has not made that I think we desperately need, the first one that really comes to my mind is a Kaminoan. I mean, like, I've talked about this ad nauseum here on this channel, but like, we desperately need some Kaminoans. They're a pretty big part of Episode 2. They basically introduced the clones, and we still have not gotten a LEGO version of them at all. So we've gotten a couple of Obi-Wan starfighters. We've gotten the Jango Fett slave one. I mean, we're slowly inching closer and closer towards that area, but they still won't pull the trigger on a Kaminoan. So that's definitely at the top of my list. The other alien I would love to see them make is an Abednito. It's honestly kind of shocking that we haven't gotten these guys. This is probably the main alien that we see the most in the new sequel trilogy of Star Wars, and we haven't gotten a single one. I think LO Asti would be a really cool resistance pilot for them to give us. If they don't want to give us that, it would be nice to just get like a generic Abednito alien. Since we see them so often, it'd be good for, I don't know, just spicing up a lot of our sequel mocks and having some more familiar background aliens in those. So I think Abednitos and Kaminoans are at the top of my list. Next question comes from Aleksandr Surowicki. I know I butchered that, but he asks, why do you only have 23 characters unlocked at the start? I get this question all the time, and it's really simple. The save that I had for the intro is obviously not my main game save. I have 100% the complete saga multiple times. I have a newer computer that I have not completed it on, which meant that I wanted to get the intro done. I didn't want to have to 100% complete it before I did my intro, so I just did what I had. I really didn't think many people would care, but I feel like people ask me about that all the time, like, oh, you need to complete the game. Like, guys, I have completed the game multiple times, trust me. I just hadn't completed it on that specific game save. And I also just didn't really feel it was important to the point of the intro. The point is that you scroll to my character. I didn't really think it would matter not having all the other characters unlocked, but yeah, that's the reason. Next question comes from Chester Crab. He says, hi Jay, my question is, will Starkiller Base be at Brick Fair, Virginia? No, it will not. Starkiller Base will be a huge mock, and it's just not going to be able to make it with me all the way to Virginia. The one place it will be at, however, is Brick Fiesta. It's going to be here in Texas, specifically Austin, Texas, during, I think, 4th of July weekend. So if you guys are around the area, or you want to make a trek down to Austin and you want to see Starkiller Base, come on down. It'll be a great time. The mock will not be 100% completed. My goal is to have the Hux speech area as well as some internal parts of the base completed for that specific convention. But the mock we're going to be working on pretty much until the end of the year. So that's when it will be 100% completed. And then I'll, of course, do a video on it like I've done with Vardas on my YouTube channel. And that will be the lifespan of Starkiller Base. Next question comes from Galactic Bricks. He says, what LEGO Star Wars sets have surprised you in the most positive way? There's one set in particular I wanted to talk about with this question, and that is my Resistance Bomber right here. Now, it's in awful condition. I've been poaching from this thing pretty much nonstop. It comes with a lot of great pieces, but the general shape of it is still here. And this one is just, I love this set so much. I feel like if I were a kid, this would probably be my favorite toy or like my favorite Lego set, just because it has everything that I personally would want out of a set. It has multiple areas for you to seat minifigures in, like the 2 gunner slots on the back of the wing and then the bottom. And then, I mean, it has the cockpit area where you can fit, I believe you can fit multiple troops in here as well. Yeah, you can have 2 pilots in there as well. And then there's an interior up top. So like there's this cool little room. I mean, you guys have probably seen it, but I don't know. I just love that so much. The ship just had literally everything that I would want out of a set as a kid. So this one's at the top of my list. This would probably be in my top 10 now as far as like favorite Lego Star Wars sets ever. And I think the bomb mechanism is just incredible. I wonder if I have any in here actually. There we go. Yeah, I love this thing so much. When I saw it, I thought it looked cool, but getting it in person, it just kind of blew me away. Like, I love this set so much, Resistance Bomber. And it's so fun to hold. Like, look, you can hold this thing like a gun almost. I don't condone gun violence. But, yeah, Resistance Bomber, guys. Go get you one if you don't have it. Next question comes from Lego Man Tom. He says, I know it's very early to contemplate your mortality. Wow. But what do you plan on to happen with your Lego collection after you pass away? Kind of a deep, dark question, but a good one. It's definitely something that I should consider at some point. Hopefully not anytime soon, but it's a good question. And ultimately, I would probably like for my collection to be sold and then the money just given to my family. I don't really know anyone close in my family who would really care to benefit from this much Lego, but the money would obviously help. And I mean, there's like things like life insurance and stuff like that, but I just feel like my family have like maybe sacrificed a few things and dealt with a lot to enable me to do all of this, and it would be my one last gift back to them as saying, like you helped me, you enabled me to be able to do this. Here's my gift back to you. Hopefully it'll be a decent amount of money. I think it would be, and they can do with that whatever they please. But yeah, that's quite the thing to think about. Hopefully I don't have to worry about that anytime soon. Final question comes from Luagalbo Productions. I think this is like his 3rd question in a row. He says, you pronounce it right again. Cha-ching. He says, I don't love the Kessel Millennium Falcon. I prefer the 2005 Millennium Falcon. I find that shocking. Wait, was there? I think it was 04. I don't think there was an 05 Falcon. Love the Republic Gunship 2. I have the set from 2013. I added the missing sliding doors. Oh, you're saying all the wrong things to me, man. I'm a much bigger fan of the gunship without the sliding doors. But he says, I have another question. Do you want light-up minifigures to be remade or re-released? Absolutely not. They were an interesting gimmick when I was a little boy, but at this point, I have no use for them. Like, they're just, I don't know, they get in the way more than anything. Like, the minifigures are cool, but I'd rather have a minifigure where I have the option to remove the lightsaber and not have a big contraption stuck to their hand. And I mean, the batteries run out and they're not the easiest things to replace. So ultimately, no, like it was a cool little gimmick. If Lego really wanted to do something like this again, I would rather them invest in something that is just the lightsaber itself is illuminated and you can connect it to a minifigure if you choose, but take it off if you want. I think that's really the best of both worlds. And that's going to finish up the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Your Questions Answered. Like I always say, if you want to see your questions answered in one of these videos, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure it's Lego Star Wars or Lego Star Wars related. And of course, send me them intros. I would certainly appreciate it. And hopefully you would enjoy too, having your video in one of these videos. So that's going to finish it up, guys. If you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.